How many times have you missed a pump session? Whether it's to do laundry, take a nap, or do some work for yourself, whatever the reason may be, don't let it happen too often, otherwise. Welcome everyone to the Momma Nurse channel. I'm Vanessa, and here we discuss all things nursing, motherhood, and lifestyle. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any uploads. Have you ever wondered what really happens when you miss a pump session? As a mother of four and 4 babies that I've breastfed, I know a thing or two about what happens when you don't pump in time. I breastfed and pumped during all of my breastfeeding journeys, and let's be honest, life happens. You don't always get to pump when you want to. Here are some of the things that happen when you don't pump in time and ways to stop it and be more consistent on your pumping journey. Issue number 1, clogged ducts. Clogged ducts or mastitis. This is when your milk ducts get clogged and inflamed, and it can be very painful. Only way to relieve yourself of this mastitis is to continue breastfeeding on that side or pumping on that side in order to release that milk that's clogged in your ducts. It will be very painful, but it is advised that you start nursing or pumping on the affected side in order to release it sooner rather than later. The longer you let it sit, it may turn into an infection, and you would need to go to a doctor to get medication to help fight that. Number 2, milk leakage. Milk leakage. This is basically when milk starts expressing itself because your breasts have become overfilled with milk and not expressed in time. A good tip, once you start your breastfeeding journey, make sure that you have breast pads on, especially when you go out in public to avoid any embarrassment. Number 3, you will eventually start to lose your milk supply. Just because the milk is there doesn't mean that it's gonna last. Eventually this milk is gonna notice that once it's building and forming, that demand is not there. It's just sitting and being wasted. So in turn, your breasts and milk ducts are gonna stop producing that milk, which will eventually lead to low milk supply. This milk has to be used either by nursing or pumping in order to continue producing. Number 4 is regret. If it's not your intention to decrease your milk supply, in turn to stop breastfeeding and nursing, then you may feel some regret later once you realize that your milk production has decreased or is completely gone. Number 5, being uncomfortable. Nobody talks about how heavy and full you feel when you have all that milk sitting in your breast not being used. Make sure you stay on schedule, that way you feel comfortable 24 hours a day. If you plan on continuing to breastfeed, please make it a priority. Otherwise, you risk losing your milk supply for good. I have gone through dips in milk supply before. It's not a good feeling, especially when you want to continue on your journey. In times when I wasn't consistent with my breastfeeding. That's why I'm able to be here today to tell you, if you want to continue breastfeeding and on your breastfeeding journey, make sure that you're consistent and you make pumping a priority. In order to keep your milk supply, you need to breastfeed or breast pump every 2 to 3 hours. This does include night sessions. As your baby gets older, you can decrease and remove that night session, but it's advised to keep up with it in order to produce more milk. If you are doing both, then sometime after nursing baby and prior to your next breastfeeding session, you would want to pump. You're going to want to pump for about 15 to 20 minutes tops during this session in order to increase your milk supply. This is a great way to build your milk stash. I hope this helps motivate you to be consistent with your breast pumping and breastfeeding schedules. And until next time, all love.